Have you ever seen the Viz animated special of Billy the Fish?
No. Go on. I've said animated special.
It was a comic strip that they used to have in Viz magazine. It may have only appeared once. I never used to get Viz. But they actually did a whole, I think it was an hour-long animated show, which was pretty funny, actually.
Is Viz still going?
Yes, indeed it is, because I've seen it at my local supermarket. I haven't bought it.
I might have to buy it to see if it's done a Beano thing, which is, it's overly politically correct. Dennis the Menace is kind of quite nice now, and I wouldn't have a problem with him living next door to me. And you don't recognise almost 3/4 of the people in it. I have a Beano football-related story.
Oh, yes.
I wrote to the Beano once, and
Really?
the editor sent me an autographed invitation for their 50th birthday party, because it was cartoon, and everyone who was featured on there signed it. And also because I said Ball Boy was my favourite character in the Beano, and he was. He played for Manchester United. See what they did there. The artist who drew him sent me a picture, specially drawn and inked, and it's really cool because I have it framed still, and you can see the pencil lines underneath the ink. And it says, "To David, you're my favourite supporter." and signed it. You wouldn't get that now. I mean, if you wrote, let's be honest, I remember in 2000 AD back in the day, because obviously their editor was Tharg, the alien, there was a line he actually said on the inside of the front page, and it was the letters page, it says, "Tharg will not do your homework for you, so don't bother asking." Whereas you write to the Beano and they send you a picture of Ball Boy.
I wonder if you can still do that. Does Ball Boy still appear in the Beano, I wonder?
Yes, he does. Well, the one I buy still every year, because I got hundreds of Beanos going back to football again, going back to 1966. Yes. The dandy died though, didn't it? Oh.
Unfortunately, yes.
But yeah, so I still buy the Christmas issue every year, because as you know, I am a fan of Christmas. And yeah, Ball Boy was in last year's. So, and if he's not, he always comes back for the annuals anyway, and that's a pet peeve. And I demand that you leave this in, even though this isn't football related. But when did the Beano book become the Beano annual?
Oh, well, I had a 1988 edition, and it was called the Beano book.
No, it's. I think it's in the 2000s, but it really annoyed me because, again, I know this isn't football related, but I always liked the fact that the Beano and the Dandy were, no, we're books, we're not annuals. Everyone else is an annual. You want an annual, go and buy another comic. We are the book.
Yes, they're still quite popular at Christmas, aren't the annuals?
Aren't they like £8 now or something?
I used to enjoy getting those annuals at Christmas.
Did you used to get Shoot and Match?
Yes, I got the Shoot annual.
I've got some really, really old issues of Roy of the Rovers. They have a little bit at the back, don't they, where they would feature real players. And this is how old it is. There's a player profile of Andy Gray.
a player profile?
Yes. And something about Roy of the Rovers that I always thought, considering it was a kid's cartoon, and he played for Melchester Rovers, didn't he? And as I remember, he was constantly injured as well. Do you know how they ended Roy of the Rovers?
He died?
It's darker than that.
Career-ending injury.
Oh yes, it was a career-ending injury, but I'm just like, unless it was an inside joke deliberately. But it was, bearing in mind it's a kids' comic. Granted, the people who read it would be football fans, so they might not be of the same age group of the Beano and stuff. But I'm sure he was in a plane crash and lost one of his legs.
Oh, jeez!
What a way to end a comic, just because it's not selling anymore.
Completely writing off a comeback, unless they give him a bionic leg and he starts playing for the robotic football team.
He was going to transfer to 2000 AD. I like to think that Dan Dare would have made a good footballer because he's got, he's quintessential 50s boy.
I never used to read that.
Dan Dare, pilot of the future, plays for Wigan on a Sunday with a pipe in his full military drapes because that's how good he is. He plays in loafers and he's still better than everyone else. Dan Dare, loafer of the future, but in the past. He's kind of the opposite of the Star Wars intro thing, isn't he? A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Dan Dare started in the first 11 for Wigan on a Sunday.
On a football field somewhere in Wigan.
And I like to think that his first tackle was a cruncher against the Mekong.
He probably had a pie thrown in his face.
Which he ate, without even breaking stride.
If it was Desperate Dan, it would have been a cow pie.
Oh, that was a strip. The Desperate Dan quote reminded me because obviously Desperate Dan was incredibly strong, but there was a strip in Roy of the Rovers called Hot Shot Haggis. That probably wouldn't be allowed now either, would it? He could kick the ball so hard that the ground would burst into flames, kind of like Back to the Future, and the grass either side of that would just part, kind of like Moses. It would just plough into it, and I remember reading it as a kid, but I took it the wrong way, and that's why I've never forgotten this and thought it was funny. The goalkeeper's in the goal, right, and the ball's gone through his hands, and he's in the floor in agony because his hands are on fire. But I thought it looked like his, no pun intended, balls are on fire, and that's why he was in agony. So as an 8-year-old, you can imagine that I found that quite funny. Yes. I like to think that's where they got the idea for Back to the Future from.
From a football comic strip.
Yes, and there was a Roy of the Rovers. I think, even though it's not, this is not retro related, but I think we should do a gameplay of the Roy of the Rovers game because there is one on the ZX Spectrum.
We could do that, but we've got to be careful of copyrights these days.
Yeah, but that's all right. I don't think you can get screwed for Spectrum music. We just keep it safe and do it on the 48K.
Yeah, we should do that. We should organise a little Let's Play of that game.
Yes. Bagsy, I'm Melchester Rovers, and you can be everyone else.
Oh, I'll be Mudchester United.
What? Oh, no! Then I'd have to let you win.